number 2. Jenna, please take it away.
All right. Hi, everyone. As heard there, my name is Jenna. I am the Women's Collections content marketer and manager. I do all of our social media content on our platform. And today, my very first time, I am going to be discussing budgeting styles 101. So I'm very excited. I'm going to start by pulling up our presentation of the day. Give me one moment here. And we will get off to the races. I hope everyone is having an awesome time tuning into our Learning for Impact event. Our goal here for this event is for you to have some takeaways and some tips that you can implement right after the presentations that you're watching, right after the day is complete. Hopefully everyone has come prepared with some notepad and are going to, like I said, have some things written down so that you can implement those things. Right now, you're tuning into Budgeting Styles 101. We are going to go through 5 different approaches to budgeting. So this is a beginner's knowledge presentation. This is for people that are wanting to learn more about how to budget. Perhaps you spend in excess and you're trying to get that under control. Etc. Again, this is a beginner's presentation. This is my first time actually presenting on a financial topic to an audience of any sort. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Perhaps we can get the MC just to confirm that you can see the slideshow is open with the topic there. I'm thinking everything is a go. Once again, just getting kind of set up here. I'm thinking yes. I don't have my Whova app open. So
yes, we can see you.
Thank you so much. All right, we're eager and ready to get started. It is 11:12 a.m. So we're off to the races, folks. Once again, you're tuning in to Budgeting 101. I'm going to discuss 5 smart strategies to stay on top of your budget. And to run through, once again, what you're tuning in on, obviously, I want you to get as much as possible out of this presentation. So this is what you can look forward to over the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to start off with a very common and popular budgeting style. This is the 50-30-20 budgeting. All of the budgeting approaches I'm going to discuss today are going to have advantages and disadvantages, right? We're going to follow after that with the envelope system, budgeting style number 2, moving along to the pay yourself system, the zero-based budget, and the no budget. 5 different budgeting styles total. Let's get right into it. All right, so without a budget, debt hurts our finances. We all know this to be very true. And a huge alarming fact I really want you all to take into account is that the average Canadian has $1.59 of debt for every dollar they make. So this means half of Canadians are spending half more than what they make. That is so alarming, and I really want you to digest that. If you're somebody who's in that circumstance, I'm happy you've joined this presentation because we're going to, as a team, collaboratively going to help you kind of turn things around here. Many debt problems come from lack of budgeting. That is kind of the core of personal finance is budgeting. So you're in the right place again, if this is you. All is not lost. Fear not, right? We're going to turn things around today and have you walk away with some tips so we can make some positive changes. It's easy to start budgeting no matter where you're at in your financial life. When you follow a budget, you can avoid debt, build wealth, and enjoy financial peace. I feel like this is a morning mantra. If you're somebody who really needs to turn your finances around, that should implement this into your morning routine just by positively enforcing and affirming this sentence. When you follow a budget, you can avoid debt, build wealth, and enjoy financial peace. Amen. Amen. So here's a look at 5 popular budgeting style systems you can start implementing today. They're all very different, right? So the goal here is for you to perhaps kind of choose one that aligns with your lifestyle, your wants, and your goals. Approach number one. I would say this is the most common budgeting style out there, and it's called the 50-30-20 budget. What is it? Well, the 50-30-20 budget is quite straightforward. In fact, I'm going to move this out of the way so we can take a little look. Give me 1 second here. We're back to that 50-30-20 budget. And the 50-30-20 budget is a straightforward approach where you break down your money into 3 different categories. 50% is going to go towards your necessities, such as your rent or your mortgage, insurance, food, gas, clothing. You can name another couple other necessities, right? This would be your car payment, etc., right? 30% is going to go towards your discretionary expenses, such as entertainment, vacations, electronics, right? For me, again, huge kind of going out person as far as going to the movies. Shopping would also go into this as well. And then your remainder, 20%, is going towards savings, investing, and debt payments, right? So that's summing up 100% of your pay. And that's how you would organize that. I'm a very visual learner, so I thought I would put together a fun little pie chart here to kind of get a visual of, again, where is the money going at the end of the month or through the month? 50%, big chunk, half of your pay towards needs, 30% for wants, and then you're still left over with an opportunity to save. Very straightforward. I'm sure that you can all very easily organize things, understanding, say you get, my entry level salary position was $42,500. Half of that, right? So monthly, I was making $2,400 taxes away. Half of that, again, 42,000. So 1,100 of that is towards needs. So you're taking into account if half of it is needs, and that is including rent, then I'm not spending my full half, 1,100 on rent. No. And it's great because my first apartment, my basement apartment was 800. So that still left me with 900, 1,100, 300 remainder for my needs. Okay, so hopefully from this budget, you're getting a good understanding. If you're somebody who's joining with their first salary amount, that's how much you would get a feel for how much you can spend on rent, etc. Like I said in the beginning, every budget has advantages and disadvantages. Is this the most ideal budgeting style for you? I don't know. But I can say that this style would be best for those if you're wanting to keep disciplined. It's very easy to follow. Maybe you're starting off, maybe you don't have a budget right now and you want to start to budget. This is going to help you set priorities as well. So some very clean, laid out advantages of the 50-30-20 budget. With all advantages, there's some cons. So with this, right, it's a pretty set guideline. So it just doesn't allow for a lot of flexibility. However, I'm a big believer that finances should be customizable. We're going to talk about multiple others this morning, but I want you to understand that it is okay if you're sitting at maybe instead of 50-30-20, you've got some wiggle room about 5%. Maybe you're doing 55% wants, maybe you're doing 25%, your discretionary spending, etc. So feel free to kind of have a little bit of wiggle room. Finances are meant to be fun, and they're supposed to benefit your future and your existing lifestyle and help you achieve your goals. So within means you have some wiggle room there. Before we move on to approach number 2, the envelope system, I just want to share. It's funny that I'm doing this presentation on budgeting because I did not start off my first career position in university budgeting at all. In fact, I thought of the word budgeting as so restrictive. I'm somebody who likes to live life. I like to go out with my friends. So I was like, budgeting, like, no, thank you. I thought of paper and pens and holding on to receipts and just like everything that I didn't want to be doing. So I'm here today to, once again, if you're in that position of feeling that way, to turn things around, because ultimately with any of these systems, choosing the best one for you is going to allow for you to live the life that you want. Okay, so positive, again, reinforcement. We're moving on to approach number 2, the envelope system. And again, it's a beginner presentation. So you're thinking of envelope, what could this possibly mean? Start to get a feel for an envelope, like paper, like what is it? With the envelope system, you withdraw all the money that you need and place your money in different envelopes dedicated toward certain expenses. Pretty straightforward. You're going to Shoppers, you're going to Walmart, you're ordering envelopes on Amazon. It's coming to the house, right? And with this system, it's designed to prevent you from taking money from other expenses and using it for things that you don't need, right? Do you need some organization in your life? Is the envelope system best for you? Well, let's go through a scenario and let's better decide if it is. After listing out expenses, Ashley withdraws $5,000 from her bank each month and spreads out the money into 8 envelopes. So for one, Ashley's doing okay here. She's making $5K a month. I would say that's pretty darn good. My second salary position even was $55,000. Take home was $3,200. So $5K a month, Ashley's doing pretty good. Let's see how she lays it out here to make sense, right? $1,800 for the rent envelope. And that is pretty aligned with Toronto housing, isn't it, folks? An apartment nowadays, a 1-bedroom, is going to cost you $1,800. And again, Ashley's someone who we would consider doing quite well, making $5 grand a month. Okay, so this is a recommended layout. Following with that, you've got $300 in utilities. Damn, $1,800 for rent plus $300 for hydro, etc. That's a big chunk. $200 in fuel because you got to commute. You know, COVID allows for people to go back into the office now. $500 for food, $400 for debt repayment. So also thinking about, got that nice fancy job making $5K a month and got to pay off school debt. $250 for entertainment, $500 for investing. Love that number. We'll chat about that in a bit, how to utilize investing and what that could look like. $300 in vacation fund, $500 in the car payment, and then we've got $250 in the car insurance. So these 8 bullets is equaling $5,000, and she's living a fun life, wouldn't you say? She's got rent paid for, she's got gas paid for, she's got food paid for, she's thinking about vacation perhaps, you know, within the next year. She's put that into account as well. Entertainment is a pretty lefty sum, $250. You can go to the movies with that. You can go clubbing for a night out. You know, I would consider this a very healthy lifestyle with someone who's making $5,000. Maybe you don't, you know, go out a lot. Maybe you're going to exchange that $250 entertainment for, maybe you want to invest more, etc. Again, this is a scenario that I want you to warm up to the idea of being able to alter. This presentation is recorded, so if you want to dive into the envelope system in a greater detail, you feel like it's for you, then by all means, you make the adjustments according to your lifestyle. All right. Fun system here. It's a great system because it creates an easy system to follow, right? It makes you better disciplined towards spending. This is what the envelope system is doing. Keeping in mind that Ashley has gone all the way to the bank, either bi-weekly, depending on when she's paid. Is she paid twice a month, at the end of the month, etc. Keep in mind though, with this envelope system, you've got that actual physical envelope where she's withdrawing cash each month. This is a risk. I don't know about you. Sometimes I'm forgetful. I kid you not. I have called my mom and just been in a hurry with lots to do. And I'm like, Mom, where's my phone? So this is not an ideal budgeting system for me. I certainly would be one of those people that could be at risk of misplacing the money. That envelope with the car, with all that I've got going on in a binder in my laptop case. I don't know, but maybe you are organized. Maybe this sounds like, again, an ideal budgeting style for you. I love that. Keeping in mind the additional disadvantage to this system is that it just might be too rigid for some. Okay, so we've chatted about 2 budgeting approaches already. We're moving on to the number 3, and this one is called the pay yourself first system. We're rocking and rolling. I did mention beforehand about investing and what that could look like over time. So we'll go through another scenario and I'll share that. If you've got means to invest $400 a month, $500, $300, I'll share what that looks like. We're going to keep moving here, talking about budgeting systems.
Hello, I'm so sorry to interrupt, Jenna. You have 1 minute remaining. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We're going to sum it up, guys. I actually, let's go right. Let's just say we shared two different systems, right? The first and the second. So let's follow with number 5, the no budget, right? We're going to share 3 today instead of 5. Last one here, the no budget approach. There's a focus on not spending money here. Each month you look at your expenses and you see where you can cut spending. This approach is best for debt repayment, saving, investing, and managing a limited budget. So this is going to be for someone who's excess spending. This one is going to look at how you can cut expenses. So we've got a scenario here, Dana. She cuts out dining 2 times a week. That's going to save her $100. She cancels Netflix, which is going to save her $12, et cetera, et cetera. So overall, think about all the ways that you can cut out costs. She's going to save over $250 a month. This is going to help her increase savings and investing, pay down debt. Really what I want to summarize here for you guys, again, this presentation is recorded, so you can take a look at all of the different budgeting styles, which one's best for you. The no budget that I just briefly talked about is going to help you cut down on spending. And if you're in excess crazy credit card debt, that's the one for you. There's a ton budgeting tips. Take a look, screenshot this, write this down in your notepad. I love Mint. I love the Pocket Guard app. I love Personal Capital. All great apps for you to utilize to better budget. All right. This was the fastest presentation. I can't believe it. I was so nervous. You guys have been a great audience. Thank you for tuning in. Subtitle notes, budgeting is the key to controlling your finances. Picking a budgeting system and sticking to it. Please start to do it. Once you have maintained a budgeting system, you will be able to afford what you need, and eventually you'll be able to afford what you want. A quick wrap up. I think we're moving on to the next presentation. Thank you so much to each and all of you for tuning in. If you're curious to learn more about the 3 other budgeting styles that I didn't touch on, you can have this recording available to you. I think we'll probably email it out afterwards, or feel free to follow us up. We're TWCCOLLE on Instagram. Send us a DM and we'd be happy to provide you with this handout. Narain, are we moving on to the next presentation, or have we all wrapped up here?